Yo, what's going on YouTube? Today we are taking a look at the 1/3 scale Batman 89 statue. So this actually got revealed in December, end of December at their part 2 event. Um, but it went up for pre-order yesterday. So they have two versions. They have this version and then they have the ultimate version. We'll talk more about the ultimate version after. So looking at this, it's 1600 US. You're probably going to be looking at about 2 year wait for this piece, if I were to guess. That seems to be about Prime One's timetable. Your estimated arrivals May 2024 to August 2024. So again, I think you're probably looking at least close to 2 year wait for this piece. So scrolling up here, you can do payment installments with them, or you can pay it all at once. One deposit today, and then the rest of it on shipment on when it ships. So kind of taking a look at this piece. So this is kind of an overview. So one thing, I really like this piece, but I'm not a big fan of the fabric capes. They just worry me kind of over time when you're talking about owning a piece for 5 to 10 years. Like, is the fabric like? I would just prefer much more sculpted cape personally. But then looking at the switch outs, there's lots of switch outs. So you have one of his Batarang, open palm, closed fist. One thing I really do like here too is the short sort of lights on his base, and they do light up as well. So I think that's a really cool piece. But the details in his suit look awesome. The abs, I love the symbol, the yellow pops, the gold in his belt. I think it looks awesome. The likeness to me is pretty accurate. Like when I look at that, I see Michael Keaton for sure. I don't think there's anything that stands out to me in terms of likeness that I feel is off. To me, like I said, when I look at it, I definitely see Michael Keaton. The base looks good. The only thing I wish about the base, maybe kind of a different color, if it could have been a little more of a gray, just to have some contrast between him, because it kind of blends in with the base. But I think if you have the lights on, I think it will be able to stand out a little more. Just kind of break it up between him and the actual base. But again, that's just a little nitpick. I think the base looks awesome as well. Like how you got the Batman symbol kind of underneath his feet. You got his logo again. You have a little yellow on the base just to make it pop. So scrolling over again, the detail. Here's the fabric cape, so you can kind of have it over the shoulders, or by his chest area, just kind of make him seem like he's wrapped up. So I think that's the reason they went with a fabric cape, which makes sense to me, just so you have a couple different pose options. But again, I would probably, like, if it was me buying this piece, I think I would rather a sculpted cape personally, just because, again, over time, if it ever got wet, or some kind of damage happened to it, fabric, to me anyway, seems like it would damage a lot easier than if you had like a sculpted cape. But again, I do think the fabric cape does look awesome. So scrolling down here, there's a little video here, so it's just kind of doing a turntable effect. So it's 78 centimeters high. So one thing about this piece that I do like is it's a tall piece, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be a very big footprint, like 39 centimeters width, 36 centimeters in depth. So it's not going to have I don't think it's going to be a massive footprint. It's just going to be really tall, right? So again, like looking on this, I love the boots is one thing that stands out to me. The boots look awesome sculpt wise. So again, this piece is $1,600 US. Again, that's around this price we're paying now for Prime 1 statues. Prime 1's prices have gone up quite a bit over the last 2 years. To me anyway, I remember when their 1/3 original Batman Hush was like $999, $1,000 US, and now the prices just keep, I mean, it's one of those things because the pieces keep getting nicer, but then the cost keeps going up, right? And then when you take shipment into account, like I live in Canada, so this would probably be at least $400 to ship to me, right? 450 minimum. So then you have the the price difference in the Canadian dollar and the US dollar. So like for this piece for me, it'd probably be like 2,600 Canadian, 2,700 Canadian, right? So then you have this piece, and then you also have the ultimate version. So the ultimate version comes with exactly what we just looked at, but then a Bruce Wayne and a tuxedo. So again, there's a few different options for him. I think, like I said, I think they did a pretty good job with the likeness of Michael Keaton. I think it looks good. Wearing the tuxedo, I like the base. Again, a little bit of a contrast difference. You can kind of see it, whereas and it's about the same height, 78 centimeters for him in the Batman costume, and then 75 centimeters for him in just a tuxedo, which makes sense because you have the ears, and then he'd probably be wearing a little bigger boots in the Batman costume. But again, this looks awesome. Like, there's really the only thing I would say about, so again, fabric tuxedo. I think that's gonna look really good on him. So I think that'd be really nice. One thing I will point out is pretty costly. Like, you don't get much with the plain Michael Keaton. Like, there'll probably never be a just plain Michael Keaton statue again, unless like J&D, they do that sometimes. They did that with the Christian Bale Batman. But you're looking at $1,600 for the regular, and then you're looking at like another $1,200 just for him, which that's pretty pricey when you're not really getting too much with him. If I had to assume, it's because the fabric maybe. But again, like $1,200 just for this seems a little pricey to me. But again, like if you want the ultimate 89 Michael Keaton Batman statue collection, I definitely think the ultimate would be the way to go because you wouldn't have to get another piece. If I were to get one out of the two, I'd probably just get the regular again because like this would be looking $600-700 shipped, so this would be like a $4,000 statue for me, which I wouldn't be willing to pay, to be honest with you. Especially, I'd consider the 89 because again, this piece looks awesome, especially when you're looking at like the turntable, like that looks awesome. But $1,200 for a Michael Keaton and tuxedo really isn't worth it to me. But again, like, okay, so the ultimate version as well is shipping the same time as the regular, the May 2024, August 2024. So again, yeah. Let me know what you think. Like, comments down below. Are you gonna get either version? What is your guys' opinion on the $1,200 Michael Keaton tuxedo statue? And what are some highlights of this statue that jump out to you? And yeah, don't forget to subscribe and have a good day.